Welcome back to MMA Oddsbreaker. I'm Frank Trigg. This is Jan Jorgensen, getting ready to fight Josh Copeland coming up on RFA 16, July 25th. In Broomfield, Colorado, of course, can be seen on Access TV. Jan, how you doing, bud?
I'm doing well. You have to forgive my voice a little bit. I'm doing well despite the way I sound.
What's going on with your voice?
I'm coaching a high school football team, and I've been out coaching football all week, and so I've been out yelling and hollering and getting guys going, and my voice is gone.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good at all.
It's not because I'm sick, though, I promise. It's just because I've been out hollering and doing that. So it'll be better here in a couple of days.
What's your position as a coach? Are you the head coach, assistant? What's your job?
I'm the head football coach for this high school football team that I coach.
And the high school doesn't mind you going off and punching a guy in the head for a living too?
They don't mind. I made it clear that this is what I did and I was going to continue to do, and they said that they were okay with it. So it's all good for now. Actually, I had a fight less than a month ago. I fought here in Utah, and I had about between 20 and 30 of my guys were there watching me, and them and their parents seemed to absolutely love it. We'll see if they continue to, but it's been a positive thing so far.
And that was in a Showdown Fights 14 against Bet Formiano, and that was you won by arm triangle choke.
I did, yeah. I dropped him with the right hand and went down to go finish it, and he just kind of rolled right into it. So I said, "Thank you very much," and finished with that arm triangle.
Did you really say thank you very much, or did you just think it in your head?
I thought it in my head.
That would have been awesome.
I did, though.
Right, that'd been awesome if you actually said it to him. So, for the folks at home that don't know about Jan Jorgensen, he's 6'3", 244. He's 7-0. It looks like all of your fights have come down in Showdown. You started fighting in Showdown Fights 4 back in April of 2011, and have won all the way through. You fought twice in 11, 3 times in 2012, twice in 13, and now this is going to be your second time in 2014. Finally making a move over to RFA. Are you still with Showtime Fights, and they let you out for one fight for RFA? Do you not have a contract with Showtime, or are you only contracted now with RFA as a fighter?
So Showtime, they're a great organization, and they're a great organization out here in Utah. And it's been nice because usually guys that start, they have to start, fighting in clubs and whatever, and they do a great production. They do it at a college, and they do a great job. And so I don't need to go anywhere else, and they're cool with it. I know that Scott Bowler, who is the guy who really runs Showdown Fights, has a very good relationship with the guys who run RFA, and he knows that the caliber of organization that RFA is, and he's fine with it. He's all about the fighters and helping the fighters move on to this next level. And it's kind of tough with some of these organizations. They're worried about protecting themselves and locking in fighters for long periods of time or whatever. But the guys with Showdown and same with RFA, they've been really great about structuring it so you can have those guys on, and it's been cool to work with organizations like that.
And I forgot to mention, your 2 amateur fights were also with Showdown back in 2011. So 2011, you fought 3 times as well. So you've got a pretty busy schedule. Are you going to try and fight? You fought in June for Showdown. You're not going to fight in July for RFA. Are you going to try and fight 2 more times then this year and try and get 3 fights in with RFA?
We'll see. It all kind of depends. It all depends on how the fights go and how everything works out. As people come to find out, and as people get in this game, for heavyweights, it's not always easy. The reason that this last fight was my only fight, 2014, isn't because I wasn't looking to fight. I was searching for fights, and couldn't get one unless it was an organization who wanted to lock me up for a really long time, and I just wasn't willing to do that. And all of a sudden, Showdown comes with a fight, and then RFA gives me a call right after. And so the heavyweight, I'm taking them where I can get them because, like I said, I went that 7-8 months without being able to find one. And so now that they're here, I'm taking full advantage. And we'll see, We'll see. I try to take them one at a time, and we'll see after this one how everything goes.
What's your deal with RFA? Is it just a one-off deal, or did you get a multi-fight contract?
No, it's a multi-fight contract. They were good about I don't have anything scheduled with them, that they'll allow me to fight with Shoyan. And they also, have the UFC out there. But it is a multi-fight deal with RFA. But they've been very flexible with it with me.
RFA is one of the unofficial feeding grounds for the UFC, the same as Legacy Fighting Championships, where Holly Holm is the biggest signing that just came from Legacy, who's going to battle against Ronda Rousey, hopefully here in a couple of fights at the bantamweight class of the UFC. Is that one of the reasons, too, why you chose your RFA, knowing for sure the UFC, obviously they're already looking at you because they need heavyweights bad, and you're a 7-0, big guy, athletic, mobile. You finish in a multitude of ways. You get the submission via key lock, a TKO by retirement in your second professional fight. Your opponents just won't come out and answer the bell. TKO by punches, decision against Kip Ramos, who's a very, very tough fighter. You go with a no contest in Eric Smith, and then you win by submission. Again, in your 7th fight. So you're obviously a guy that knows how to get the gamut. Does the UFC, looking at RFA, did that make it easier for you to sign with the RFA for this deal, knowing for sure that if the UFC comes calling with a good enough contract, that you can walk away from RFA because they'll let you out of theirs?
Yeah, it was huge with me going with RFA. RFA is phenomenal. I've been watching RFA and had my mind and wanting to fight for RFA for a long time now, because I realize that they are a feeder. There's a couple of organizations out there that are big time feeders into the UFC, and that you get high level fights in RFA, and you fight high level opponents. And if you can go prove yourself in RFA, then that next that UFC call, and it seems to be not too far around the corner. And so it was really big motivation for me fighting and really pursuing to get an opportunity to fight for RFA.
What do you do for work right now? Are you a full-time fighter and a full-time football coach, or is there something else in there you need to do to make sure that all your bills get paid?
I've been a full-time fighter for a long time, and I just took on this football coaching thing, and so that's awesome. And in the fall, depending on what happens, like you said, you gotta pay the bills, and you have to feed yourself. I'm actually going to be a high school teacher starting in the fall, so I got my degree in law at BYU, and so I'm going to teach high school in the fall and be coaching. So we'll see how that all goes. A lot of it kind of depends on what happens fighting wise, but you got to pay the bills somehow,
Yeah, I understand. I remember Rich Franklin was a math teacher before Rich jumped on board to fighting, and of course we all know about his storied career, and now he's moved on to bigger and better things, still within mixed martial arts. So he's giving back, obviously. So Jan Jorgensen, Jan, I really hope things go well with you. This is gonna be a great fight. Josh Copeland is 8-0. Both of you are undefeated. It's gonna be interesting to see which guy gets their loss first. But I know you've watched tape. I know you've seen Josh fight. What do you think about Josh, and how do you think this fight's gonna go?
I think Josh is a really solid fighter. You can tell he's a very strong, heavyweight. He moves well too for heavyweight, like you said. But heavyweights, it's hard to fight heavyweights that are good athletes and are able to go out there and perform at the level that heavyweights need to perform. Josh is one of those guys who does do those things. And you can tell he's a big, strong guy, likes to get out there and strike. You can tell that he has, and on the film I watched, you can tell he does have a good grappling background, that he likes to use his grappling and wrestling and being a big, strong guy to stay up and throw punches. And it's in a lot of ways, that's what I do too. I've got a wrestling background, grappling background. I think as you read off of my record, I proved that I can grapple. But I really like to just go wherever the fight goes and win wherever I can win. And so he's a good, solid, strong fighter. But at the end of the day, I think I have better skills than he does. And so I'll go out there and win the fight, but I'm excited to fight him.
Is this and forgive me for not knowing this off the top of my head, is this your first time being the main event of a fight?
No, my last one I'm showing out was the main event, but it's the first time being the main event on national TV, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, you jumped in from Showdown, local promotion to a national promotion and main event in a national promotion with knowing for sure the UFC, Sean Shelby and Joe Silva are definitely paying attention to the fight, as well as Ed Suarez, who's the manager for, of course, Team Blackhouse and Anderson Silva specifically. This is a big fight for you, Jan, and I think you're well worth the task. Josh Copeland is an incredible athlete, and it's going to be amazing to see how this fight pans out and what goes on with him and how things battle out, because I think both of you guys are very big, very strong, very athletic heavyweights, like true athletic heavyweights, which is the sport needs. Obviously, with the inception first of Brock Lesnar, we brought our first guy, and now with Cain Velasquez, who both, of course, fought for the UFC, is now the next generation. This is going to be very interesting to see how the new development of heavyweights come in. You fit right in that mold. You're one of those guys that's athletic, big, strong, and knows the game very well. So I'm very excited to watch you fight. Come up here on July 25th.
Oh, sorry, I appreciate that, because I do feel like I'm that new breed. The heavyweights are now becoming big athletic guys. Like, you have a lot of guys like Brendan Schwab and Matt Matriano, and guys who come from a football background. And it's interesting to see how as MMA has gotten bigger and gotten better, how you're seeing these guys who are true athletes that are big guys who are going into it. Where before the big kind of had the leftovers. But now I feel like I'm a part of that new breed. But I got to ask you, what advice are you going to give me? What would you give me being the main event for my first time on this fight?
You know what? A main event fight is no different than being the first fight on the card. It makes no difference, because the reality of it is that we are entertainers at the end of the day. And if we don't entertain the crowd as the opening fight or don't entertain the crowd as the final fight, it makes no difference. Now, is there a little more heat because people are at home watching on TV? All that means that there's more eyeballs on you. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything else. It's more people are watching. You've got to understand that you have to go out there and fight to the best of your ability that night, no matter what it is. I don't care what kind of style it is, no matter what you do. I don't care if you're a grappler and going to hold a guy down and ride him out and beat him up over 5 rounds like Ben Askren used to do, or if you're going to go out there and try to smash a guy's face in like Cain Velasquez does and beat you up from top to tail. It doesn't make a difference. You have to be entertaining and you have to win. So my number one advice to you as a main event fighter on national television, being seen on Access TV by all the folks at home, is make sure you win. Do whatever it takes to win. Don't care about the boos in house if it's a boring fight. Don't listen to his corner if that corner is trying to tell him to do something different, whatever. Listen to your corner. Pay attention to what's going on with you, and make sure you win. That's the only advice that I can give you. Everything else is a crapshoot.
Very good advice, actually. It's really good. I appreciate that.
Well, thanks, Jan, for coming on here for a couple of minutes with MMA Oddsbreaker. I appreciate it. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen at home, you've got to watch this fight. It's going to be a great fight between two athletic heavyweights. Both are undefeated. Jan, of course, being 7-0. Josh's opponent being 8-0. And this is going to be a great fight. Thanks, Jan, for coming on here. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Thank you, Frank. I appreciate you having me.